What do you take away from tonight's game, and how do you guys bounce back from, a second straight big loss?
Yeah, we got to find a way. I've been down before and found a way to fight back, and that's just what it is. We're in a difficult situation right now. We just got to figure it out. We'll get through it, and I ain't got no worry about it.
Quinn was mentioning that you guys got a lot of good looks tonight. The ball just wasn't going in. Psychologically, when you don't see that happening, how do you guys try to either bounce back or find a way to push through it?
Yeah, that can be tough. It can be deflating whenever you get the looks that you want, and we're getting good shots and they just weren't going in, and it's deflating. And but I think the first half we were still playing pretty good defense, but also at the same time when you're missing shots and shots that you're used to hitting or supposed to be making, it gives them good looks on the other end too, especially if they get a rebound and we're attacking the glass and we're down in numbers, or I go in, I shoot a layup, and I'm on the ground. They have numbers. So sometimes when the ball don't go in, it gives them momentum offensively, and they knocked down some shots tonight, and that's what can lead to it if we don't make shots.
Trae, in the first quarter, you took a deep three near the logo, and then you missed it, and then you made it, and then you shook your head like you should have made the one before that as well. Mm-hmm. What's your mental process, or what do you tell your teammates, especially just keeping that confidence to keep shooting?
I'm constantly preaching to my teammates to keep shooting. Even with Sadiq, we'll miss a couple early, and we want him to keep shooting. We want Bogey to keep shooting. We want Jalen to shoot when he's open, and everybody to keep shooting. So it's no different whenever I'm shooting. They're telling me to keep shooting, and I thought the first one should have went in, and a couple of my shots have been going in and out, and it's just part of it, and it'll be a time where they go back in, and it'll be rolling again. So everybody just kind of preaches to each other to kind of keep shooting.
Trae, defensively, are there one or two things that you feel like if we can take care of these things, that a lot of the other things will solve themselves?
I don't know if it's just one or two things. I think it's multiple things. We got to continue to, be in the right spots, but also got to communicate where, if we're switching or certain things, and we got to continue to, it's not just one or two things. I think also turning the ball over live can hurt, and they got a lot of transition points as far as just us giving them the ball and turning it over, and sometimes we just can't do that, like stuff like that, and then stuff like that we can fix.
For you, you mentioned communicating better. I'm just kind of curious why in kind of those tough moments it's psychologically hard to communicate even more.
Yeah, it's tough to communicate, especially out on the floor. New concepts. Guys are, it's not like guys aren't trying to, do certain things. It's just guys are still, don't know where they need to be, but we got to talk through it. And if we don't know where we need to be, then just continue to talk to each other and learn from each other. And, nothing great happens overnight. So this is a process, and although our record is ass right now, we can be a lot better, and we'll be a lot better. This is a process, so I'm not worried.
You guys are obviously capable of putting together big offensive runs. It just never happened in the second half. Were you waiting for it to happen, and why couldn't it come tonight?
Man, if I knew the answers, we would have turned it around. We didn't have a quarter over 30 tonight. That's just not like us. Not scoring over 100. It's not like us, and. It sucks saying it's just one of those nights, but it's one of those nights. We played last night and played against a fast team that runs a lot, and I guarantee they knew that and wanted to push the pace and be physical and just push it right back to us. And it worked to their advantage tonight, and you never want it to be on the losing end of a game like this tonight, but it's part of it, and that's what we got to learn, and eventually we can't have these types of games.
Coach mentioned that you all played a lot of games recently. Without practice, would that help with the communication?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and it's hard because people don't necessarily know. I mean, Quinn is such a cerebral coach and cerebral person. He needs time. He needs people in there that are going to listen and just give the effort that he says. And it's a lot. Like it's a lot, but it can work. Like it can really work, and it just takes time, and it's gonna take us some time, and the guys believe in them, and like you said, like practice helps, and when you have back-to-backs, it's hard to fit into practice, and even after that, it's hard to get into practice because you play a couple of days later. So I know it kind of frustrates him because he can't put in his imprint and instill it in our heads as much as he wants to, but. And we're a young team, so you're going to have mishaps and certain things because it is complicated, but it will work. I really believe that. So we just got to continue to get better and trust this process and understand it's going to start raining eventually.
Ken, last one.
Trae, you mentioned playing the way that he wants to and learning cups and so forth. Before the game, he was talking about transition defense and like how if you're getting back, even if you're behind the ball, it's kind of tempting, I think, to jog and think like, oh, the play is going to be made ahead of me, but you need to get back because, maybe you need to get the rebound or whatever. Is that one of those, you mentioned, I asked you before, kind of what are some things that can be fixed with the defense? Is that one more of those things of everybody getting back, busting it to get back on defense after, in a transition situation?
Yeah, of course. But that's, like I said, it's not just one thing. I think transition is definitely part of it. It's something we can be better at. And like I mentioned, turnovers, live ball turnovers hurt us when you're giving them the ball and everybody, and usually turn it over the top of the key. They already usually have numbers, so it's already tough. And but you definitely want to. That's definitely a part of our mentality. Quinn has definitely been telling us we got to be better in transition, and I think we did a pretty good job early on, and they just kept pushing and kept running. So that's pretty much it. But it's not just one thing that we can point out on defense. It's a lot of things we can be better at.
Thanks, Trae.
Got you.